All right, we are going to wait for the click. We're going to wait for the click. And there's the click right there. Let me see if I can hear it now. I don't know why I can't hear this stuff all the time. It's crazy. There it is. I could hear it. You know, the funny thing is, I put in my mic, right? And I put it in the external thing, and it doesn't work. You can't hear me. So here I am. Good morning, everybody. It is. Hold on, somebody's popping in. Okay, thank you. It is April 24th, 2025. It's 10:45 a.m. Southern California. It is an overcast. You guys know who I am. I'm Donovan Sadiq, also known as the Black Yule Brenner. And this is my little quick chat talk type stuff. Quick topics. You guys have been hearing about this Shannon Sharpe thing, and it's amazing. It is amazing to me how they throw these distractions up at convenient times to get us talking about other issues and things. And that's what I think this is. It's just another distraction. Shannon Sharpe, at 56 years old, has been around money, Hall of Famer, has been around money most of his adult life. I understand he's a walk-on in the NFL, you know, and worked his way up, and you know, he's a Hall of Famer, so he's been around some money. He's had a few contracts. What kind of is crazy to me is a person of his age to not know how to navigate women and gold diggers, or whatever you want to call these women. I mean, regardless of her age, how we feel about the woman's age, she is an adult according to the law. You know, I know everybody's going to have their opinion about it, but as far as I'm concerned, she's an adult. You know, whatever the situation could be. You know, he seems to, you know, I know he has a history of saying he doesn't deal with, I guess, paraphrasing, black women. Allegedly, he said that he doesn't deal with black women. He prefers, you know, white women, or, you know, other women of color, I guess, or other women, preferably not black women. But for him to be put in this situation, and I guess this morning, allegedly, there's another person that's come out in regards to making allegations against him, and it's unfortunate at his age that he is still dealing with issues like this. Especially people of money, they should know way better. And if, you know, at 56 years old, if he doesn't know how to navigate a situation like that, it's very unfortunate. Hey, mama! Hey, you guys, it's my mama cat. She's 17 years old, and she is still kicking. Huh, mama? You've been raising me since I was about 40. I love you, Misty. I love you, mama. She's my oldest cat, 17, and she is, she's known as the cat of Montefisto because she just beats up any animals I bring around, and all the other cats respect her. She doesn't go outside much, and she's getting older. Her insurance is $150 a month. Huh, mama? And she's a wild one, you know. She's not having it, you know. So I gotta give her thing, and I can't be as rough as I used to be with her. So she's kind of fragile now. So, hey, you old woman. She is a real tuxedo cat, and she's been raising me since I was 40. So she never had any babies. I got her when she was about 1 year old from my ex-girlfriend. I'm gonna put her in a death shelter, and I said no, might as well just leave her here. So she's been with me ever since. But Shannon Sharpe, it's kind of interesting. Looking at his situation, it seems to me he is comfortable in a transactional relationship, which is fine. She wants the money, he wants the sex. You know, I don't have all the answers of what, and I don't really care what's going on with this situation. I am on record, and I have always said it is very hypocritical to me how the United States bans the sex work of prostitution, but yet we have a $16 billion pornographic industry. It just never made sense to me. It's legal to have sex on camera, but it's illegal for two consenting adults to exchange money for sex. That just never made sense to me. Those of us that have lived overseas, we know what it is. I mean, sex work, sex work. It's nothing to be ashamed of. I mean, it's just what it is. People have got to live and people have got to eat, and it's a transactional relationship. I personally don't see anything wrong with it. Personally, I don't. Um, you know, I just think it's kind of crazy when you've got these feminists out here that are talking about, oh my God, it's exploiting women and stuff, but you say nothing about the women that are on OnlyFans exploiting themselves. You say nothing about the pornography industry. You say nothing about the strip club industry. But yet these two consenting adults get involved in a transactional relationship or whatever it is, and everybody's got an opinion about it. It's pretty pathetic in my situation. I'm saying, like most Western countries, and so how hypocritical the United States is. If you go overseas, outside of the United States, most countries have a sex industry. You go to Germany, they have it. I think they have it in Britain. Don't quote me on that one. I haven't been in Britain in a while. Can't remember. But most countries have it. As long as you do it in this area, it's all good. Government gets taxes from it. The girls are safe. You get rid of the criminal element of the pimps and the mafia, whatever, and everybody's making money off of this thing, and it's a profession. It's a job. Sex work is sex work. If you're a model in Penthouse, sex work, you're selling sex. To me personally, there is no difference between a prostitute and a OnlyFans model. They're both still in the sex work genre. So they're sex workers. That's just my opinion. So, yeah. So you got that going on. It's unfortunate that a man of his age cannot navigate how to handle women that will come at him for the mere fact that he has money. So this should be nothing new to him. But what's really kind of strange is he keeps getting caught up in these situations and allegations of what he does, of these relationships. Now, I guess the girl's 22 or 21 now or whatever. I mean, yeah, I guess, but I don't know how he would have the patience for something like that. If it's just a transaction, do what you got to do and move on. I couldn't be in a relationship with somebody that young and really think about it being like a serious thing. So I don't know, you guys. A lot of people have opinions about it, but it's just amazing how Tony Busby, the lawyer, he keeps bringing up these really affluent black men. You don't see him going after low-level athletes and entertainers to sue. And when will we learn? When will we learn, fellas? When will we learn? Especially if you are a high-earning potential type man. When will we learn I just don't get it. 56 years old. You got the flesh-eating. You guys heard about that flesh-eating bacteria? It's always been a flesh-eating bacteria, but I guess now it's a sexual disease type one that's in Europe or somewhere it's at. Why would anybody want to be single out here in these streets nowadays? I just don't get it. If you're going to be single, then be single and stay to yourself. You know what I mean? So I don't get it. You hear that noise? That's Benny. He's got his little tennis ball and he's running and destroying the house. So it's just crazy. It's just crazy. Political wise, it's kind of quiet. Democrats are stuck on stopping Trump. That's their whole mantra. They have no plan. They have no idea of what they can do other than stop Trump and make sure Trump fails. And if Trump fails, the nation fails. Like I said, it doesn't matter if you're for a Republican president or a Democratic president. If the president fails, the country fails. I mean, there's got to be certain things that the Democrats can work with Donald Trump on. And when the majority of the American people want a certain thing, and the Democratic Party is still trying to fight what the majority of the American people want, that doesn't make any sense. In the republic, the majority rules. The majority rules. But for some reason, we seem to think the minority should have a say, and that isn't how it's supposed to go. It's the majority sets the agenda, and that's how it should be. But in the Democratic Party, it's the minority group that kind of runs the bigger group, and that's just not the case. We need a total reset on something like that. So it's going to be interesting, you guys. It's going to be interesting. A couple of my friends that I know have lost their jobs, and they're in deep doo-doo because they have bought all the toys and houses and boats and all this other stuff, and I don't know what I can tell them. I'm under the assumption you're white, so you already probably have some money stored away. So how bad could it be? I mean, you didn't make the $3 million this year. You're only making $1.5 million. It's kind of hard for me to feel sorry for you, but I get it. I get the aspect of what you're doing, but at the same time, you're on a job where you're just there. You're just there because you're just used to being there. You don't have any aspirations to go any higher than where you're at. So, you can't stay on the job forever. So time to go, it's time to go. But if you're out here, spending your money and which you can do, and you didn't plan for such a contingency, it is what it is. But don't worry. My white friend that I'm talking about, I'm very sure somebody could find a vice presidency for you to slip into, which usually happens, in the world, where you could be a totally unqualified person and they'll find a managerial position, a vice presidency, a position, that, you can find, from word of mouth and, a relative or a friend. So that's my take on that. So, yeah. But yeah, there's no slave patrols. Nobody's in slavery that I'm aware of unless you're in jail. And of course, you've got a bunch of black people and people from the 90s that are on weed convictions, and nobody's trying to get them out of jail. Black people are still at the bottom of the economic system. And if you've been watching TikTok and Instagram and places, black people seem to not be affected by anything because we're at the bottom of the economic scale. The only black people that seem to be worried about losing anything is the black people that are in that 30% percentile that I keep talking about. My stocks are taking a hit. I'm losing thousands of dollars. It is what it is. I'm not concerned about it. And I'm not a Bible thumper either, but only God's going to fix these problems at the end of the day. But you should not be afraid to call out what you think is what's right or the truth, and be honest about the situation as it stands. That's how I feel about it. But, who am I? I could be wrong, but I doubt it. So, yeah, I don't know, you guys. Like I said, hold on. Hey, Mama, you came back to me. She must be wanting her treats. When she does that, she's demanding her treats. She's never had any babies. She's just been a good old mama cat to me. She's a real tuxedo. I see her gloves and her shirt. Hey, Mama. And this is Misty. I love you, Mama. I love you, Mama. I love you, love you. I love you, Mama. Mama. She beats up all the cats, and the dogs, so they don't really mess with her. So, but anyway, you guys, it's overcast here in California. Still got a lot of work to do with my landscaping. and I'm going to be working on that today. And I didn't go to the gym yesterday. I need to go to the gym today. Had to get an LA Fitness membership, which is really unfortunate because we have a base gym that closes at 5 o'clock. It opens at 5 and it closes at 5, Monday through Friday. And if you're a retiree, unfortunately, you do not get access to after hours, which is what they do over there. And so it's unfortunate that I have to use my limited resources and dip into my pocket to get a membership for a gym that is more convenient for me to use. But c'est la vie. It is what it is, right? Anyway, as this cat continues to step on me, I love her so much. I love you, Mom. And I guess I still miss Belle. I still miss Belle. Bad Benny keeps me busy. But I got to figure this computer out. This is my desktop all-in-one computer. And I don't know if it's the mic in there that just doesn't work or what it is. But I like the setup because I don't have that big disc here. But I'll have to figure it out, right? Yeah. But you guys, you got to hold on. If you're a believing person, you're a believing person. But only God's going to solve these problems. All right. You guys have a great day. Be blessed.